Welcome to the UK News Today. Today we news that woman 32 reveals how her heartbreaking stillbirth led to discovery that she has just months to live. Amarty's baby was born without a heartbeat after she had been so ill during pregnancy. She lost 3 stone. A 32-year-old woman with just months to live has bravely recalled how the devastating stillbirth of her baby at 24 weeks led to the discovery that she had terminal bowel cancer. Amy Mattingly's baby Lou was born without a heartbeat, following a natural discovery at the Bristol's Southmead Hospital on New Year's Day after she had suffered with diarrhoea and vomiting. The web designer from the Bradford-Upon-Avon, Wiltshire, whose husband Chris, 34, is also a web designer, said it was devastating. "I've been through so much since then, but losing Leo was absolutely the worst part of this. I've never been told the reason for stillbirth, but I do think it was because of the cancer and what was happening to my body." When her diagnosed and vomiting persisted after the tragic stillbirth, doctors first mistook her condition for physical symptoms of her grief, but further investigations revealed that she was riddled with cancer. Amy continued, "Last year, Chris and I were looking into the future. I would got married in the romance bands in Bath in February 2004, and we could not wait to become a family. We have broken the news of my pregnancy to my family in Canada and had started renovating our dream home. We had our whole lives ahead of us. But since we lost Leo, we have become increasingly ill, and though we have refused to give it in without a fight, I've just been told I possibly only have weeks to live." Amy, who had suffered with diarrhoea since her teens, said it became worse after she fell pregnant in August 2006, and she also experienced sickness. "I thought that was just how my body reacted to my pregnancy," she continued. "I had diarrhoea and a lot of abdominal pains. I thought it was normal. I had what I thought was morning sickness. I was doubled over in pain when I had bowel movement, which was followed by with vomiting. Lost a lot of weight, almost 3 stone during my pregnancy." In her 20-week scan, Amy and Chris, who she met through work in 2006, were delighted to be told they were having a boy. They had planned to call Leo. That at 22 weeks, a scan showed that the boy was smaller than expected, and doctors feared something was wrong. Specialists began to investigate and monitor Amy, who at 24 weeks started suffering from severe vomiting. Amy explained, "I told the doctors that I was having diarrhoea, and also as soon as I have a bowel movement, I would start to vomit. They said it was probably flu, and not to come to hospital if it if I was infectious. When she then felt intense pain and her waters broke, Ami's released. She was in early labor and went to Royal United Hospital, Bath. She recalled, I was lying in a bed and pains were getting worse. Then I realized I was in early labor when my waters broke. I was taken to hospital and they did a scan and my baby was still alive. Then I was transferred to Southmead Hospital as well. Was more specialist premature baby unit there. They did another transfer and they had to tell me that his heart has stopped beating. It was absolutely devastating having to give birth to a baby without a heartbeat. We had him a little while and we left him in hospital where he was cremated. Following the loss in January, the couple tried to come to terms with what had happened. Meanwhile, a misdiagnosed and vomiting continued with vegans promoting her to speak to a doctor who mistakenly thought it was caused by her gift. I feel like I was copying okay, but it was not because of that, she said. When her condition repeatedly deteriorated, soon after she was referred to a specialist, she said, I had to see my GP a few weeks later in January and said that something was wrong. By this stage, there was a lot of blood in my stools. I was going through the sunburnt lot and was in a lot of pain every time. Doctor told me it was probably irritable bowel syndrome, but she would refer me to the hospital. Annie was given an appointment for mid-February 2007, going to the US before that to spend some time with her parents who lived there. But her appointment had to be cancelled after a tree fell across the track in front of her train on the way to Southmead Hospital. A replacement appointment in March was cancelled because of a funeral. So with her heart becoming worse by the way, and after a trip in where she was giving nausea medication but no further test, she decided to go privately rather than to wait for any longer. She said, I also simply diagnosed and weak. By that stage, only thing I was keeping down was Mr. Donald's milkshakes and mashed potatoes. In mid-April, the month when her baby had been due, Amy had a private appointment at the Spire Hospital in Bristol, was referred for the urgent back on the NHS and Southmead Hospital a routine test using a camera to examine the lining of the tower. She was horrified when she saw the inside her tower on the screen. Amy recalled it was like a field of mushroom. I had googled what health can look like. I was not healthy. It was completely filled with symptoms. The doctor said there were so many variables needed to come out. I had despair of relief that they had an answer, but then I was frightened because I knew what was ahead. A biopsy and CT scan then revealed that Amy had tower cancer which had spread to her life. In March 2007, she had a 5-hour operation in Southmead Hospital, Bristol, to remove the bowel and give her permanent ileostomy bag, where stones are collected in points outside her body. She was also given the 4 rounds of chemotherapy and lost most of her hair. But about 3 weeks ago, she was told the treatment had failed. She said, my chemo failed, Mr. miserable and misleading tremors increased from between 5 to 7 to around 30. They had reversed more insight. I was told my cancer was inert, and all I could have was be weekly palliative chemotherapy in a bit to keep me stable. My doctor said I probably only have several months left, and I'm being to get into the clinical trial to have more treatment. Looking back, Amy felt that if she had reversed, she was just that her diagnosis might. She has cancer, she might have been able to do something about it. Now determined to raise awareness of people with similar symptoms, as well as trying to remove tumors surrounding toward cancer, she has kept poignant blogged about her journey. In October, she also completed 9-month work from her own stand to raise money for Cancer UK. Wearing a good caps became a mark of her fight against the disease. I just so pleased that I did not. I only organized on Tuesday before setting target of £600 on my Just Giving page. I have raised over £5,000. I never imagined it would be incredible. Exercise, healthy eating is important, so I have decided to do it every Saturday for as long as I am able to. Meanwhile, Amy hopes her blog will remain inspiration to fellow cancer sufferers and their families for years to come. She continued, "It's difficult to talk about, but I want to show that you are never too young to get bowel cancer, for people to know what symptoms are. I think that most people see it is an old person disease, but I'm still a young woman who was excited for the future. Now I wanted to stop the future from being snatched away from anyone else." Amy is speaking out. Cancer is never too young champion. The champion is leading change for younger bowel cancer patients. Early year to the 2,500 younger people are diagnosed with bowel cancer in UK. Thanks you very much for listening to the UK News today. I hope you enjoyed this new. Please subscribe our channel to get more news. Thank you.